And it is now recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're just going to start in a few minutes. I want to say maybe give it a minute or two to let people come on in. But we're so excited to have you all in here for this beautiful Friday. I hope it's beautiful wherever y'all are at. Uh, Again, we're going to start in just a few minutes. We just want to let as much people come as possible. All right, just gonna give it like 30 more seconds and then we're just gonna go ahead and start. This session is being recorded, so if you do have to hop off for any reason, feel free to do so. We're gonna upload it to our YouTube channel at new to UMass, which is new, the number two, and UMass. But we're super excited to have y'all here. And as people are piling in, I'm gonna get started. So hello everyone. Today's session is designed to introduce you to the key resources and programs that will support your transition and help you make the most of your first year. If you attended Destination Days earlier this year, some of today's content may feel familiar, but we'll be going more in depth, specifically around our orientation program. This webinar is being recorded and will be available afterward on our YouTube channel at New to UMass. Once again, that's new, the number two, and UMass. So feel free to come and go as needed. To get us started, let me introduce myself. I'm Rashawn McKenzie, and I serve as the Assistant Director for New Student and Family Program. I've been working here for about 3 years now, so I'm super excited to help you all in your transition. A lot of my role is coordinating all the pieces that we're going to talk about today. So if you do have any questions, feel free to ask. And we also have some other people joining us today, including our lovely orientation leaders who are also happy to respond and answer any questions that you may have in the chat. We are also going to be doing a live student panel at the end of the webinar. So you could ask them any questions you may have about the new student experience at UMass Amherst or just the student experience in general. And with that, I want to first and foremost congratulate all of y'all on your acceptance to UMass Amherst. You are now part of a vibrant, diverse, and supportive environment that is here to help you succeed. And so, me, along with, once again, all of our orientation leaders, are here because we really enjoy the transition process and coordinating uh, things to make sure that you all are successful in everything that you do. And so, we're all here because we want to see y'all succeed and thrive once you come to UMass Amherst. So, our new student experience does have four different signature series events that are involved with it. We have our Next for the U, our Guide to the U, our Ready for the U, and our Welcome to the U. These are tools and resources that make sure that you thrive. They're designed to support you at different stages of your transition. In the next few slides, we'll dive into each of these programs and how they'll help you navigate your UMass journey. First, we're going to start off with Next for the U. As a new student, you'll receive Next for the U, a newsletter designed to guide you through your first 8 weeks and 63 days at UMass. Now, you might be saying, 8 weeks and 63 days is an oddly specific amount of time that you're going to receive the Next for the U. That's intentional. We at UMass were founded in 1863, and so we like to play that off of having 8 weeks and 60 days, which also gives you around October, November, which is usually around the point where students need a little bit less support from our office. So we are trying to make sure that even once you come on in August to the institution, that you're still fully prepared and you know what you should be doing next. It will arrive in your UMass email inbox weekly, providing important next steps, helpful tips, and introductions to keep key members of our campus community. Be sure to check your email regularly so you don't miss out on important information. You should be provided with the information on how to access your UMass email account about 24 hours after you submit your deposit. The first Next for You newsletter is actually going to come out this upcoming Wednesday, May 7th. So definitely check it out once it's out. Next, we have Guide to You. Guide to You is a series of self-paced online modules that introduce you and your family to the university's community, resources, values, and expectations. This resource is available to support you from the moment you become a student until the day you graduate. It's a great way to start familiarizing yourself with everything UMass has to offer. Guide to You is updated every semester. That means you can always go back to it and be assured that you're going to have the most up-to-date information. Guide to You is open now to both our incoming students and our family members. It is mandatory for all of our incoming students to complete Guide to You prior to coming on campus. Family members, it is very optional for you to do Guide to You, but we highly suggest it just so you know the resources that your student has to their to them from this institution. All right, and now we're going to talk a little bit about Ready for the U. Here's some things that you should make sure you do before you register for Ready for the U. Definitely, once again, complete Guide to You and upload your U-Card photo. One of our Next for You newsletters are going to tell you specifically how you can upload your U-Card photo. So definitely, once again, look out for Next for the U as well. All right, and now Ready for the U. Ready for You is our chance to engage with the university before the semester even starts. You'll meet fellow new students, learn from experienced orientation leaders, and connect with faculty and staff. We offer different session formats, including 2-day and 1-day in-person sessions, as well as a 1-day online session. These sessions are designed to ensure that you start your semester feeling confident and prepared. So we're going to go a little bit more into what types of sessions we offer. We understand that every student has different needs and preferences when it comes to their orientation experience. That's why we offer different modalities to help you transition to UMass in the way that works best for you. So once again, we have our 2-day overnight on campus, which is a fully immersive experience where you'll stay overnight, meet other new students, and engage in a variety of activities. We have our 1-day on campus, a condensed version of our on campus program that provides essential information and resources in a single day. And then we also have our 1-day online, a virtual option designed for those who need flexibility while still receiving key orientation content. No matter which option you choose, we're here to support you every step of the way. Ready for the U has sessions from June 11th to August 1st. Registration for Ready for the U opens this upcoming Monday, May 5th. Please note that sessions available to each student largely depends on the capacity and the student's college. In the next few weeks, a few slides, we'll touch on which type of Ready for the U session might be the best option for you. So, we have our 1-day online session. This session allows you to be virtually and meet with and connect with other new UMass students as well as campus resources. It's more of a convenient schedule with check-in starting at around 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and wrapping up around 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you get all the key info you need to feel prepared, all from the comfort of your home. Students who might prefer an online orientation typically include our out-of-state or international students who want to reduce travel time and cost, students with scheduling conflicts such as work, family commitments, or summer classes, students who prefer a more flexible or low-key environment to take in information at their own pace, or students with accessibility needs who may find virtual participation more comfortable or manageable. We also have our 1-day on-campus session. This gives you the opportunities to connect with campus resources through sessions like Discover UMass, which is our campus resource fair, and campus quick stops, which is essentially they'll take you to major places on campus that you might need to know just a little bit of information about, and you get to actually see what the location looks like. You get to enjoy meals from our UMass's award-winning #1 dining. I know that's definitely one of my favorite parts about working here at UMass. 8 years in a row, #1 dining. You'll have more chances to meet fellow new students and start building your UMass network. This schedule is also a more convenient schedule. Check-in begins at around 8 a.m. and the session will typically wrap up around 5 p.m. And you'll get all the essentials you need to feel prepared for your UMass journey all in one day. Students who might prefer a one-day in-person orientation typically include students who live nearby and can easily travel to campus for the day, students with limited availability who want an efficient in-person experience, students who want to meet peers and staff face-to-face but don't want to stay overnight, students who are confident navigating new environments and just want a quick overview, or students with other summer plans such as job, travel, etc., who are looking for a shorter commitment. And then we have our 2-day session, which is actually one of my favorite sessions to do for y'all. Our 2-day orientation sessions offer the full UMass Amherst experience with extended opportunities to connect with campus resources, meet new peers, and prepare for life as a student. These sessions provide a deep introduction to academic expectations, campus life, and supportive services. Students who attend a 2-day orientation session are typically more confident and successful in their first year at UMass. Some of the perks include staying overnight in the Northeast residential area and getting a feel for what campus living is like, extended opportunities to connect with campus resources through sessions such as Pick Your Path, which is a pick your own orientation session and meet with different resources type of session. Discover UMass, which once again is our campus resource fair, and Campus Quick Stops, which gives you insight on different places around campus. We also have optional campus tours during our 2-day sessions as well, with all the other things that you could enjoy from the other sessions. So again, that #1 dining, chances to meet new students and start building your UMass network. And like I said earlier, students who attend a 2-day session are more likely to thrive in their first year here at UMass. Now we have our new student experience timeline. We know that transitioning into college comes with a lot of important dates and deadlines, so we put together a timeline on our website to help you stay on track. This timeline is designed to make sure you know what's coming next and how to best be prepared for your next step of your transition. Be sure to save the dates, set reminders, and reach out if you have any questions. Once again, we also put all this information in our Next for the U. So as deadlines start approaching, our Next for You will send you an email saying, hey, it's time for you to upload your U card. The deadline's approaching. Or, hey, it's time for you to submit your immunizations. I'll hold the slide for one more second. If y'all want to scan that QR code, it'll take you directly to a bigger version of this on our website. Or you could always go on our website, umass.edu/new student. All right, and the big question that everyone always wants to know, how can I register for classes? So we're going to talk about advising and course registration. Your advising center will reach out to you starting in June to schedule your online advising and course registration appointment. However, before they contact you, there are a few things that you need to do. The first thing is that you have to complete all your placement exams. In a few weeks, you'll receive an email from the university to your UMass email that will tell you all the placement exams they would like you to take. Take those as soon as you possibly can so you can check that off your list. Then complete Guide to You, as we've spoken about earlier, and register for Ready for the U. To clarify, all you need to do is register for Ready for the U. You do not need to have attended Ready for the U. Do make sure that you do not schedule your advising appointment for the same date that you have Ready for the U because you won't be able to do both at the same time. And once again, these advising appointments are fully virtual. So your advisor will reach out to you and pick a time for y'all to meet virtually, and y'all will select your classes from there. Taking care of these steps ahead of time will make your advising and registration process much smoother. And now it's time to talk about truly my favorite part of our new student experience, Welcome to the U. This is a series of immersive opportunities designed to help you get acclimated through social events, community building activities, and leadership opportunities. It's a great way to meet new people, explore campus resources, and start making UMass feel like home. Some events you can look forward to are our fall carnival, as you can kind of see some pictures right there of what our carnival looked like. We're trying to go bigger and better every year, so stay tuned for all the rides that we're going to have during that. Mall Madness, which is essentially we have our local mall, which is about 10 minutes away from campus. We bus our students over there and we take over the entire mall at nighttime. So we have access to Fun Hub, which has more of our immersive experiences, such as trampolines and go karts and other things like that. We have roller skating, we have our escape rooms, and much more. And last but certainly not least, we have our fall concert, which is truly, I think, almost everyone's favorite part of Welcome. We try to get two big artists to come and perform in our Mullen Center. So I've been doing a lot of talking, and you probably want to hear from people who are actually students. So we have some of our experienced orientation leaders here today to share their student perspective on transitioning to UMass. They've been in your shoes and know what it's like to navigate this exciting but sometimes overwhelming experience. They'll talk about how they felt supported during their transition, what resources helped them the most, and what advice they have for new students. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. And so I think the order we're going to go in is Ella, you're the first on my screen. Then Lillian, you're going to be next. Abalash, you're after Lillian. Siddhi, you're after Abalash. And then Sawyer, you're going to go last. If y'all want to introduce yourselves.
Hi, can you hear me? Awesome. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Ella. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a second year from Silver Spring, Maryland. I'm studying sustainable food and farming with a minor in business. And I am involved with a research soil biogeochemistry lab on campus.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Lillian. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a second year student from Myanmar studying biology and neuroscience and minoring in Chinese. I'm also involved in some neuro lab, which is a sleep lab here on campus.
Hello everyone, my name is Abhilash. I use he/him pronouns. I'm a second year from Mumbai, India, double majoring in computer engineering and physics, and I'm part of the UMass Aeronautics team here on campus.
Hi everyone, my name is Siddhi. I'm a rising third year student from Mumbai, India, majoring in managerial economics with a business minor. And I'm involved with SBS Ambassadors Program, which is a student run ambassador program for College of Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sawyer. I use they, he pronouns. I'm a third year from Salt Lake City, Utah, majoring in social thought, political economy, and women's gender sexuality studies, and I'm involved with UMass Students for Reproductive Justice.
Thank y'all so much. So I have some pre-selected questions that I'm going to ask them, but if y'all have any questions, definitely put it in the chat and I'll ask them out loud to our panelists. So as you're hearing them answer some questions and something pops up, feel free to put it in the chat. So my first question to y'all is, what helped you feel at home at UMass?
I can go first. Okay. Honestly, I was a little nervous when I first started because being an international student coming from so far away, like not knowing the lay of the land, it was a little nerve-wracking. But when you move into your residential halls, you will have your residential assistants, which are your RAs and your peer mentors, have host a lot of like events like game night or movie night or just like come get pizza with us or like a boba night. And that is a great way to connect with people who are living in your residential hall so that you at least have familiar faces around you during your first week. And yeah, that's how I made a lot of friends.
I can go next. So one of the main things that really helped me my first few weeks was the friends that I made at orientation. So at Ready for the U, I made a lot of really incredible connections and I stayed in touch with those people throughout the summer. And so when we first got to campus, we all like hung out, got dinner, so we didn't have to go to the dining hall alone. And it was just a really great way um to like feel like you had somebody already at a huge university. And I'm not an international student, but home is far away from me, so it was really helpful for me.
I can go next. So something that made me feel at home was, yes, I agree with both of them. For me, it was also the residential halls that I was in and the community space where I would just hang around, study anything there, and I would just keep seeing familiar faces, and that's how I made friends. Another thing that really helped me was my triathlon club, where it is a registered student organization or an RSO here, where I had like a group of people who I actually trained with together, and I actually became pretty close with them as well.
All right, thank you. All right, what resources or events were most helpful for you?
I'll go first. In all honesty, I think the biggest resource that I've had is all of my professors and like UMass staff for making sure that A, I'm comfortable, but also B, that I'm understanding and I have all the resources that I may need. So I really make sure that I I write down when my professor has office hours. I'll visit them as much as I can during those office hours. Like they are there to help you. Like they are required to have them. Might as well show up. So just making sure that you're like using those office hours and really making those connections, because that also is helping you academically, but that can also help you professionally after you graduate.
Thank you.
Hi, I can go next. For me, I use the Learning Resource Center, which is, we call it LRC here, where you can help get all the like academic helps. You can even get like private tutoring sessions, or they also, if you're in a large class, they will have SI sessions which we call it supplemental instructor sessions. So they will hold a small group session at the end of the day and help you get through all the lectures that you had this week. And the other one is talking to your faculties and the professors. For me, that's how I got into a lab, the research that I'm interested in. I will just talk to them and I will open up, oh, I'm kind of interested in this one. And they will tell you, oh, you can do this. You can go to ours, which is Office of Undergraduate Research Studies. Or they say, oh, you can email the professors. We have these resources. So also opening up and talking to a professor or a faculty member help you get to the resources that you want. And because they have most like hands-on experience, so they also can guide you where it's most perfect for you.
To add to what Sawyer and Lillian said, I would also say that stay in constant touch with your academic advisors and your career advisors, because if you keep updating them that hey, this is my progress or this is how far I've come, they will also keep presenting you with different opportunities that you might not encounter on like just regularly or on a daily basis.
Perfect. And it looks like we have a question, and I'll read it out loud. Are first years supposed to arrive on campus early, and when? I can
So,
answer this.
okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so first year move-in is August 27th and 28th. And once you get your housing assignment, which will be in August, you will also then be able to make a move-in reservation. So the move-in process here is huge because there are obviously so many students. So you do have to reserve a time to move into your residential hall. But that will happen in August. So yes, first year move-in is August 27th and 28th, which is a little bit earlier than the rest of when the rest of the students move in.
And then it looks like we had another question that was asked earlier, but I'm going to ask it again so that we have it on our live. Are the on-site ready for the youth sessions usually on the weekends?
I take that one. They are not ready for the use. Sessions are mostly scheduled from Monday through Friday. And like Rashawn mentioned earlier, we have three options. So you can either come for a 1 day, an online, or an overnight session. But yeah, it
These are great questions. Keep on continue asking questions in the chat. Oh, it looks like I just got a new one. My new UMass email is flooded with LinkedIn messages telling me that UMass suggests I join LinkedIn. Do I really need this, or can I just put LinkedIn in spam for now?
I understand that the LinkedIn emails from UMass can get very overwhelming. I get so many a day. But I've also made really good connections in there. So I personally wouldn't put it in the spam just because although it can be really overwhelming, you can make really good connections. I've like connected with professors or other like students in my classes, and that's like how I've like made study groups, how I've like gotten stuff for like jobs and other opportunities. So like it can be very overwhelming, but if you put it in spam, there is a very big chance that you might miss like in vital information that can help you in the future.
Maybe make a LinkedIn folder and throw it in there. Abhilash, is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. Another thing what you can do is you can personalize your email notifications that you get. If it's really annoying, there's a lot of ones that you really don't need. So you can just go in there, personalize, and like turn off the notifications for like ads that LinkedIn sends. And it will also reduce a lot of your LinkedIn email.
All right, so we're getting a lot of questions, so we're gonna go through them. What are your opinions regarding wraps? So can y'all tell us what a wrap is, and then what are your opinions regarding it?
Take that one. I loved being part of RAPS. RAPS is basically residential academic programs. So these are specific classes that you take with people who are living on your floor or sometimes in your building with a few certain floors. But this is, I feel like, a great way to make new friends and familiarize yourself with people who are living on your floor. And like Ella mentioned before, like your first week of classes or your first week of semester, it's just nice to have a familiar face, and these connections actually help a lot. And we have a lot of different rap programs. Some are specific to your college, or some are specific to your major, or some are just specific to your interest. So you do have a lot of options to choose from.
Oh, looks like we have someone raising their hand. Ash, would you like to say something? Like ask a question in person?
I'm so sorry. I was trying to hit the chat and it wasn't working, so I raised
That's
my hand.
okay.
I'm so sorry to disturb. All right, I'll say it out loud. Roommate process, finding a roommate. How did you all bear with that? And thank you. I'm sorry.
No, you're all good.
So I can kind of hit two birds with one stone over here with also the how will the housing applications work. So how I found my roommate is when I filled out the housing application, which will also be in August. I basically it ranks your preferences next to somebody else's preferences, and the more you match up with your answers, the higher that person will be on your list. So my roommate was pretty high up there because we had like answered all the questions very similarly. And I noticed that we had the same major because it says your name, then their major. And so I reached out to her and we just started like chatting, seeing if we would get along. We did get along great. So we decided to become roommates that way. But there are plenty of ways that you can find a roommate. A lot of people find roommates on like the Instagram pages, like Class of 29 probably has an Instagram page right now. And a lot of people find roommates that way. Also, I know people that have gone completely random and it's worked out awesome. So it really depends. But so yeah, the housing application, you fill out your preferences, like when you go to bed, if you like noise, if you know, if you're a regularly clean person, like things like that. And it matches you up with people who've answered the same. I hope that answered the question in the Q&A section as well.
You can also like upload your acceptance letter on your Snapchat to add like UMass to your Snapchat account, so that way you can get linked to people in your batch. So like UMass 2027 or UMass 2028 and 2029, and you can post stories there. And I feel like that's a great way to know about what's going on campus and what events, and like just to connect with people as well.
All right, thank y'all. All right, so the next question that we have in the chat is how long do we have to move in on move-in day?
So like Ella was mentioning earlier, you'll select like a time slot. It's usually, I think it's like, it really depends on, I've had it different, like living in different regions, it's been a little bit different. It's between like 15 and 30 minutes. It kind of depends on where you're moving in. They do want you to move pretty fast. Like they have rules about like you can only have one car. They'll tell you where to go. And usually like it's very much like you move all your stuff from the car to your room and then you move your car, you park it, and then you will walk back and like unload there. They don't want you to leave your car parked just so that things keep moving.
Great. The next question we have is for international students, when is the best time to arrive in Amherst? How about accommodation for families coming to drop off? Are there enough hotels available nearby? Any recommendations? So I know that's a three-part question. We could do it one question at a time.
I can start. I would recommend coming in like as early in the day as possible because that way you will still have time to look around campus, or if you like in case you forget something, you'll have time to explore the nearby areas to get stuff that you want and get settled in as soon as possible, instead of if like you arrive late in the day, some of the shops might be closed. So in case you miss any of your essentials, it might be an issue. As for hotels, we do have a lot of hotels nearby. We have Marriott, we have Hilton, and these are all, I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like 10-15 minute drive from campus max. It's not that far. And we also have an hotel on campus, which you can look up. It's called Humas Hotel. So for family accommodations, I'd say these are the best options around.
And something that is new this year that maybe it's a sneak peek for all y'all that attended is that we have more options for housing for our family members and guests throughout Ready for the U that will happen in our North apartments for a separate cost. So you'll have a lot of options to be near campus for our Ready for the U program. Next up, I see the question that is, how will the housing applications work? Will you have to rank houses or the areas?
So with the housing process, you are basically going to rank where you would like to live. They'll give you a list of each like residential area. So like Orchard Hill, Central, Southwest, and so forth. And you'll basically rank which area you would like to be in. And then UMass will kind of take it from there. There isn't like a 100% guarantee that you will be placed in your number one. Like I would like to live in Central my first year. Like they will try their best, but there is no guarantee of where you'll be living. If they see you'll just be put, but that does take consideration, especially also if you need like gender inclusive housing, like you can see that in Orchard Hill that Webster has gender inclusive housing, so that can be ranked. If you need like accessible housing, you can go into Central. You'll just basically rank what you'll need.
And then I see the next question that says, when can I apply for a RAP?
I, bel I believe the RAP registrations start May 19th through May 21st. And I also believe that Ella has attached a link in the chat if you want to refer to that.
All right. So more
Can I
questions.
add to that? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Also when applying for a RAP, certain RAPs like City mentioned earlier are going to be academic. And so if you are going to be wanting to be in an academic RAP that is specific to like your major or like a minor or something of that sort, you'll receive an email saying that you can apply to be in a RAP. So that limits who, like that will just be for people in your major, minor, something like that. Where there's others that are like more interest based and those are like general apply, but the academic ones are solely like email invite.
I accidentally marked a question answered, so I'm gonna answer it out loud. It was, is the housing application process the same for transfer students? And yes, it is. I meant to click a different button and I accidentally clicked the wrong one. My apologies, but it's the same process.
All right. I'm gonna go through some more questions that were asked. So I will say that our staff is either gonna be answering it directly, or we're gonna ask them out loud, depending on how quickly we get to them. The next question I have for y'all is, how can I stay friends with the people from high school? Or can I ask to stay with my high school friends? Actually, I read that wrong. Different question.
Wanna say if you're talking about orientation housing for an overnight session, I don't think that would be possible because you do get randomized roommates. But if you're talking about the academic year, then yes, you can live with your friends. What you do is you form a roommate group and you add them to that group as well. And when you have your priority number for your housing application, you select a room, and that's how you and your roommate get added to, like, assigned to that particular room.
All right, next question I'm seeing is, do rooms come with a mini fridge / microwave, or do we have to bring them ourselves?
Hi. Sorry, I was typing the answer, but I can answer here. So you must have a program called Microfridge where they rent mini fridges and the microwaves together. Or we also have new to you tech sale, which happens at the start of the semester where you can get microwaves and mini fridges at a very low price. So you don't need to bring them to UMass. You can rent them here. They will bring it to your room, or you can buy it from new to tech sale. Or it's optional if you bring it from your home too.
All right. Next question is, how do we decide which part of the university to live in?
What I did is I just honestly, I Googled each residential area and I saw them on maps relative to where they are within the university. And also I took into account like how I like to spend my day and what my schedule might look like. Like if I know that I might be taking like a lab, like maybe I want to live closer to my lab because it might be early in the morning. I currently live in Upper Central, so I'm close to Orchard Hill. So I'm definitely like more on the quiet side of campus, which also means that I'm sometimes miss out on things that are like very busy, like in center of campus. So just taking into account like what you want to do, there isn't like a right or wrong answer. Like you are very much like you make or break where you live. Each like region is fun in its own way. Um, so just trying to take into account. They're also on UMass website. You can see what like each like area has. Like I'm close to basketball courts. Northeast has like a volleyball court. So just seeing like what each region has.
Anyone else have anything to add?
I feel like I live in the complete opposite side of what Sawyer just described. So, Ella and I live in the Southwest residential area, which is it has high rises and low rises, which is also where you have a lot of your rap programs, and you have two dining halls on this side of the campus. So this is like the very far end of the campus, and you have your Berkshire and Hampshire dining halls, which is honestly one of the reasons why I chose this because it was so close to me. But yeah, this side of the campus is, I want to say, more lively in the sense like there's just a lot going on always. Like it's very high in energy is what I want to say. But like Sora mentioned, you can always look it up, and based on your preferences, you can select an area.
Perfect. So my next question is, if I'm going for a study abroad program as an international student, do I need to come to the US first and then to the study abroad destination, or directly to the study abroad destination?
I don't know if any of us know the answer to that question. But what you can do is you can call the Office of Global Affairs, which was formerly the International Programs Office, and they can answer all of your questions regarding study abroad, anything to do with international, like coming to UMass internationally. So that will be the Office of Global Affairs.
Thank you, Ella. And if someone could drop the link to the study abroad office, that'd be fantastic. Or to the Office of Global Affairs. All right, the next question I have in the queue is Orchard Hill the only one with co-ed housing? My roommate goes by they, he, but is afraid, or AFAD, I'm not really sure what that is. And I go by she, her, and we want to room together. What would happen if we failed to get into that hall?
I can answer this. Orchard Hill is not the only place that has co-ed housing. There is other residential halls and other like floors in Southwest, like some floors in Southwest may be like single sex, but then others are co-ed. There's some in the Honors College. You can look when you're seeing the residential areas. UMass does when they are placing people in single sex halls, they do it based on the gender that you have submitted when you apply. Like that's it's not like a pronoun thing, it's like what you mark your gender as. So it can be a little iffy, but there is other options. It isn't just Orchard Hill. Orchard Hill is the only option for like gender inclusive housing, meaning that for first years, meaning that the bathroom in the Webster floors will be gender neutral, while the others will still have a gendered bathroom.
All right, thank you. Next question I see is when will I get my Microsoft 365 license for my UMass email? All right. So you should get it on Monday after all the matriculation is done. So as soon as y'all are done matriculating, if you've paid your deposit, you should be able to get access to your Microsoft 365. Next question I see is, if you're in the Honors College, can you get your tours and info specific to the Honors College during Ready for the U? Can you get tours and information specific to Honors College?
So a part, if you have been accepted into the Honors College, there is a part of Honors College session where all of you will be taken to, and then the people at the Honors College, they go over a lot of the details about everything you need to know from the Honors College and application during the Ready for the U. But other than that, the rest of your Ready for the U experience will be with everyone else.
All right, the next question I see is, as an international student, I would like to open a bank account. Which bank would you recommend? Which ATM is the most accessible on campus?
I can take this one. I would honestly recommend Bank of America because of how accessible it is. We have two branches, one in Hadley, like Amherst downtown, and then one in Northampton area, which is about 15-20 minutes away from here. But we do have a lot of ATMs spread out all across campus, and they do have options for internationals or just students, like fresh first year students who have not had a credit card before or not had a bank account before. So they do have programs specifically for them, and like it won't be difficult for you to get a credit card that way.
All right, next question is, I submitted my deposit as an international student, but I haven't seen anything about my I-20 form. When and how would I receive that form from UMass?
Hi, can I? Sorry. Hi. I'll answer this question. So since it's the admission time, it might take some time to like send you the I-20 form. You can send a follow-up email to the Office of Global Affairs and ask about your I-20 statuses. Basically, it will take like at least 1 week to get the I-20 form.
All right, thank you so much, Lillian. Next question is, can you drop the link to get your UMass email?
I don't think so. I don't think there's a link specifically to get it. It should come in your, like, the email that you applied to colleges with, I think. And then
Yes.
you'll be able to sign in from there.
Yeah. So as soon as you deposit, in about 24 hours, you should receive an email to the email that you registered for the institution with, giving you all the information on how to sign up for your UMass email, the login information, and then from there, we'll be sending you every other information and email, such as Next for the U, directly to your UMass email address. Next question is, when would we know what specific materials we'll need for classes, like if we need a specific type of laptop, etc.?
I can take this one. So once you've already met with your advisor and you've registered for your classes, that is when you'll be able to like log into Spire, and if you go to view/purchase textbooks, that's where you'll see what materials you need. As for what laptop or like electronic devices you might need for your class, I know we have a lot of different classes that require iClickers or a specific type of laptop, but that depends on your major. So I would recommend asking this to your advisor when you have your meeting.
Also, if you are like sometimes the Spire, what like it says for like the eCampus books that you will need is going to be wrong, especially like I've experienced that, especially being in the humanities, with our books changing so often and we don't really have textbooks. They're more just like regular books that we treat as a textbook. I just wait until the first day of classes and I get my syllabus from all my teachers, and they always have a required materials section.
Right. The next question is a car required / recommended for first years, or are there public transportation options available?
So a car can be convenient, but it is definitely not necessary. Our public transportation system is fantastic. We have a bunch of options. First of all, our campus is very walkable, but also we have an electric bike system on campus, which is new and really, really fun. And often there are some hills on campus, so an electric bike is really cool when you don't really have to work too hard to get up a big hill. And then our PVTA system, which is the Pioneer Valley Transit Authority, is our bus system, and they are fantastic. The buses run every 10 to 15 minutes, and they can really take you anywhere you need to go. You can go into town, you can get to Hampshire College, Amherst College, Mount Holyoke College, Smith College. You can go up to Deerfield, go to Northampton. Like, you can really get anywhere with the buses. So like I said, a car is convenient, but it's not necessary at all.
All right. The next question is, how's T-Mobile cell coverage on campus and in Amherst? Do any of y'all have T-Mobile?
I do.
Okay.
So I think it is pretty good. I do have coverage almost everywhere on campus. There's some fluctuations sometimes when I'm so like when you're inside buildings, your phone automatically connects to the on-campus Wi-Fi that's there. But then once you move out of the building, it starts switching to your T-Mobile mobile data. So or like your phone mobile data. So when that happens, there's like fluctuations. But then once it's on the mobile data, I think it's pretty good. I do have like 5G on my phone bar.
I also have T-Mobile, and I would agree with Apalash. If you're on scholarship, how does the deposit work? Will it automatically come out of that, or is there an action needed?
I can go as well for this one. So the scholarship usually mostly applies depending on your scholarship, but I think most of the scholarships that you do get as incoming, it applies to your tuition fee and it automatically gets deducted there. And then the remaining money you pay.
All All right, next question is, what does the insurance offered by UMass cover? Is it worth getting or should I waive it? And then there's a second part of the question, but I'll ask that afterwards.
I, as a third year, did not have the University Health Services, UHS, insurance through Wellfleet my first and second year. I now have it my third year. I find it very beneficial. I had insurance like through my parents, but I would still have to pay when I would go to UHS for things. But now I like my trips to UHS, especially if I get like sick and it's very brief, are completely covered. And then also that insurance also works outside of the university as well. So if like you are needing like surgery or whatever, that insurance also is covered and the coverage is pretty good. So it's worth it, but it also like that is up to you. It is money that you would be paying. So you just have to think how beneficial you would think it is to have.
And then the second part of the question is, what services does the medical center on campus cover, which is UHS, as we talked about, the University Health Services? And do I continue to schedule my regular checkups with my usual doctor, or do I switch over to UHS?
I don't know if Sawyer, you want to continue answering this question?
I can. UHS, University Health Services, offers quite a lot. We have like a sexual health clinic, regular checkups, stuff like that. We have a walk-in clinic if you randomly get sick and need to be seen. There's like an eye doctor, there's gender affirming care. Most things are provided here. So that is very beneficial, especially it being on campus and very central to campus. If you can change your primary like health provider to a UHS like physician, I've never had a problem with them. They're very sweet, very nice, very caring people. It really just depends on how often you think you'll have a checkup or like distance. Like I'm an out-of-state student, so I changed just because spending most of my time in Massachusetts, having my doctor be back home isn't really working. I can't really just fly to go see a doctor really quick. So that's very beneficial. But if you live close to campus and like your doctor is close, then you can do whatever you're most comfortable with.
It looks like we have someone raising their hand, so I'm gonna let Ria. Hi, Ria. You have a question for us? Ria, are you there with us? Okay. Well, then we'll go on to the next question. If I submitted the form to change my status from an international student to an in-state student, do you have any idea how long that process would take? I don't think any of the students in here have gone through that process specifically, but I would also suggest reaching out to the Office of Global Affairs. They usually are the ones that have most of the answers when it deals with changing any status for international students. And if Lillian linked that in the chat if you scroll up a bit. Did anyone have anything they wanted to add? All right, then I'll go to the next question. Would it be possible for a first year to leave a car on campus for most of the week?
I don't necessarily understand the question exactly. So you can, if you have a parking permit, you can have your car on campus. But you'd have to have a permit to do that. And it would be for all of the semester, not just for part of a week. If that answered the question.
I think it did.
Okay.
So yeah, if you don't have a parking permit and you're parked on campus, there is a chance that you will get a ticket. So if you do plan on parking on campus at all, I would suggest buying a parking permit. All right, next question is regarding the student insurance. Do you know if the cost is covered by the GI Bill or if it would be out of pocket? So I do believe this information is on our on the insurance website. I'm going to ask the next question, and I will put that information in the chat. So the next question is, do you recommend getting dining dollars?
I can answer this. For dining dollars, if you like having coffee or snacks, we have cafes around on campus. In like aside from dining halls, we also have Bakery Berg, which is like on campus snack trucks and other cafes. So if you like drinking coffee and snacks, having dining dollars is very recommended.
We also have multiple student-run co-ops, and we have like a food hall called Blue Wall in our campus center that are also, they only will take dining dollars in cash. So if you think that you might be going to these co-ops, or like Lily said, going and getting coffee, or the going to Blue Wall, they can be very beneficial. But you can also pay for those things like with like credit card, debit card, or cash as well. So
And then the cafes aren't the only places that have coffee. You can get coffee using dining dollars, or sorry, using like your meal swipes. That's just that requires entering a dining hall and using a meal swipe for that.
Thank y'all. And then going back to the last question regarding the GI Bill and what cost is covered by it, that will depend on whatever your benefits are. I'm dropping the link right now to more information regarding the GI Bill. The bursar's office could also help you answer any questions about what the GI Bill covers and what it doesn't. Next question is, if you want to play club sports, how's that process?
So for club sports, so for me personally, I joined I mentioned the triathlon club, and then also the running club here on campus. It depends on each club, which and how competitive that club is. But for triathlon and running club that I joined, it was just like they on their Instagrams they post, or like on campus. So the moment you come in after the welcome events are happened, when the classes have begun, during the first 2 weeks, there is a club sports expo where you can see all the club sports that's there here on campus, and you can go talk to them. They have like emails you can put in, and then they'll reach out to you, and then you can just join. So a lot of the times you can just join these clubs, and you can just start practicing with them, going on competitions. Especially for my running club, when I joined, it was pretty straightforward. It was just, we have practice Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. You come in, you start running, and you're part of the club.
Thank you. All right, so we are reaching time, so I do want to share our contact information, and then we'll spend another couple of minutes answering some questions that y'all might have. But if you do need to head out, thank you so much for coming and joining us today. If you have any other questions that you'd like to ask, maybe not now, but maybe later, you could always email us at newstudent@umass.edu or call us at our phone number right there. You could also follow our social media, which is once again new to UMass. That's also the same account name for our YouTube account where we'll be posting this webinar. So if you need to go back and hear any of the questions or any of the information provided to you, you could go back on our YouTube. Hopefully it should be posted sometime next week. So I just want to give a second for that. And then we'll go back to answering I want to say 3 more questions before ending. Once again, if you do have more questions that weren't answered here today, you could definitely send us an email at newstudent@umass.edu. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen again. All right, and then if y'all also want to answer the questions, like type the question in to them, because we are getting a lot of questions right now, definitely feel free to do that to our lovely orientation leaders. Yes, Ella?
I did the same thing again where I accidentally put the comment in the answered section when it was not answered, and I apologize. It was about halal options at the dining halls. I did type an answer, but I'll just say it live as well. So Worcester Dining Commons has the halal kitchen, but all dining commons do have options, halal options, but and the the UMass Dining app, you can filter your like preferences. So if you're vegetarian, you can like put that as your menu. So they'll show you which dining halls have which when. So yeah, you can filter the UMass Dining app for any dietary restrictions so you know where to go for certain things.
I see a question for traveling. The closest airport is the Bradley Airport, that's in Connecticut, versus the Logan Airport, which is in Boston. Bradley Airport's about 45 minutes, where Logan Airport's about 2 hours. How common is it for people to bring a Nespresso or Keurig machine for their rooms?
I would say it's relatively common in people that know that they will enjoy it. I feel like lots of people will bring it and then never use it because they've realized that either it takes up too much space, it's too much time in the morning, or it's just more convenient to go and get coffee on campus. So like if you think you're going to use it, go ahead. Just make sure that it has an automatic shut off, or else it is not allowed within the residential halls just because it's a fire hazard to have something stayed in producing heat. Um, so just make sure that it follows like the what to bring, like guidelines of like things that you can plug in and if you'll use it because our rooms can be small depending on where you're placed. So that also is just taking up space. So if you think you'll use it every day or you know you'll use it every day, then go ahead and bring it. But if it's gonna be like a oh we should maybe I'm gonna start doing this, then think about it a little bit.
All right. And I think that might be all the questions that I see on our end. So once again, thank you so much for coming and joining us for the New Student Experience webinar. We are going to upload this on our YouTube account at the number 2 UMass. If you have any other questions, feel free to email or call us. Our information, once again, I'll share my screen and put it back up there. But I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I can't wait to see y'all in the summer. Bye, y'all. Okay, and now I'm going to, nothing else was it. Perfect.